Throughout the season, we have a great staff, great nutritionists, great training staff, and really it was just a group effort, because I was on the lighter end last season, and I'm still like I'm bigger now, but just understanding that going into that year and understanding that I'm younger than everybody else on the field, and that I need to protect my body in order for me to sustain the level of play that I want to play at. So just understanding that what they're telling me, they've seen my type of build before. So just understanding that they want what's best for me, and just really accepting that role.
I think you mentioned recently that you were dealing with a few things last year. How much of that was physically just being dinged up and all?
I mean, that's just a part of football. So I mean, physically stuff like that's gonna happen, but it's about what are you gonna do to fix it and be ready for the next week. So I mean, that stuff that's not really a problem.
You mentioned that no one knows how hard it was that first year.
Yeah.
Is that going to remain a physical part of it a little bit, pressure?
Not really pressure, because pressure is privilege, but just a matter of, I mean, understanding your freshman year. There's a lot of kids like, I mean, Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. He went through his entire freshman year and they won a natty, student athlete. So just balancing out the student athlete life, all the NIL, just understanding and getting a rhythm in it. And now that I've went through it an entire year, I definitely have a way better grasp of it.
Did it come easier to you than maybe you thought? Is it
Um,
because you know more players?
1,000%. I mean, at the end of the day, football is football. So I mean, it's really a child's game. It's something I've been playing my entire life. So football is never really the problem. You got to try to figure out the little things that are gonna take you to the next level, in order to sustain that play.
Brian, moving off the physical part of the game, player safety is a top priority during fall camp and throughout the whole season. I mean, every rep, every athlete, every moment is a huge deal for a program like this. So, how has player safety kind of contributed to athlete development and availability during fall camp?
I would just say, with the advances that we have had, football didn't. It used to be all grit. So just being able to track that yardage and track my velocity every single day, track how many times I stopped hard. Just being able to see that, it definitely helps that our staff really understands that. Every day, like the mileage that I put on, it can continue to keep going. So just understanding that, it's made it so much easier. But it's about buying into the system, and that's what I'll say about all these guys. It's not just me. Everybody has bought into it, and they understand that what our staff wants for us is the best. Because if we're at our best, the sky's the limit.
Is there a stop hard metric?
It is. It is. I don't know the exact terminology on it, but if like we have like hard stops, like how a car, like every time it does a hard stop, we have that as well.
And going off of that, how have these extra measures made a difference?
Um, I mean, for me personally, it's made a difference just because I can keep it into mind. Like, yeah, I want to go 22 every day at practice, and but it's about hitting that 90% week in and week out, and just continue to, because you don't want to shock your body. If I'm going 18 miles per hour at practice every day, and then I try to go 23 in a game, it's not gonna that doesn't add up. So just understanding that, and that's just a testament to our training staff and our. All of our staff, just helping out and telling us the reason why we need to do these things, and not just like, hey, you need to go 20 miles per hour, and like you don't have a reasoning by why you should. So
What's your top end speed?
yeah. Right now, I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean, we gotta wait and see. I guess. Well,
23?
I mean, we got a lot of guys that can do that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, with some of the workouts and the phone calls so far, who are some guys that have been really good that you've gone up against some of the defensive backs?
I mean, all of our defensive backs give a different challenge. So I mean, all of them have, just Damani being a veteran guy, seen a lot of different players. ZB, we came in together, iron sharpens iron. That's always been a 2-on-2 matchup. And then, just Dijon coming in, head down, Deshaun Jones, Drake Kirkpatrick, Bray Hubbard, all of the guys, I feel like every single day since we were always attacking at each other, that all of them have just increasingly, they've seen what I do. So, just day in and day out, it only gets better.
Jeremy said it's the best DB room in the country. Do you feel
One
that?
thousand percent, 1,000%. I 1,000% agree that we have the best defensive back room in the country.
Hey Ryan, what's your approach to staying humble and keeping motivation?
I always keep an attitude of gratitude But the reason that I'm always humble is because I've been on the other side of it. Um, there's been times where I've been at the highest of the highs, and something like an injury can bring you down to the ground zero, and that's just not something that I ever want to feel again. So I mean, just with the base that's behind me, my family, my staff, my brothers that's around here, everybody, we keep each other in check. Continue to keep that level head, because in order for us to do what we want to do, you can't be great without the greatness of others.
We know what the highs are.
The chemistry, I'm gonna be honest, this is probably like one of the all-time highs in team chemistry that I've had in my life. When you can, as a receiver, when you're one of your best friends is a defensive lineman, like a guy like James Smith, that we feed off of each other. That's like my brother. I mean, when that's the case, I mean, it's a testament to the squad. Like we got quarterbacks hanging with long snappers, like people that's usually never around each other. I mean, it's just a brotherhood.
Yeah, what does it say too that the coaches have been talking about this group really being bought in, wanting to stay here and be in Tuscaloosa? How much do you kind of feel that already through the first week of practice?
I mean, and it goes before the first week of practice. I mean, just ever since January 14th, the guys have been bought in. Year two, we told each other that, like, we can't go back. So it's just been a matter of just focusing on where, like, each day. We're not trying to focus on next week. We're not trying to focus on any time ahead. We just want to focus on the day, and everybody's been bought in. And I'm telling you, if we didn't know, like, today was media day, we wouldn't even know the date. Like, everybody, we've been stuck on. We think every day is Monday just because of how hard we work. So yeah.
And Brian, how has the quarterback competition been? Getting a chance to work with all three of those guys, what's that experience been like so far?
Honestly, it's been beautiful just because all of the guys can sling it. I mean, we've had no problems with them. Everybody brings their own juice, and all of them can do it. I'm telling you. I would just say the main message is just being consistent and don't fall into complacency, because we had games where yeah, we had a big game, but then the next week what happened. So just focus on being consistent and buying it, focusing on that day, being where your feet are, and just being where how strong are you mentally, because this game is. The battle is won. The first battle is won internally. So just focusing on winning that battle and having grit and being unbreakable.
I think we know what the highest of the highs was last year. What was the lowest of the lows personally?
Personally, for me, I mean, there was never really a point where I would consider it the lowest of the lows. We learned a lot of lessons last year, whether that was after a game that we lost, and we had, like, some of our biggest lessons were at the games we won. Like, for example, the Georgia game. I mean, we go up big, and we allow them to claw back, and we can't allow them to do that. So just focusing on how to try not to learn lessons after a loss, because you can learn a lot of lessons from winning and just in general. So yeah,
Talk about what Ryan Grubb's career is like on the practice team.
attack, attack, attack.